Tucson leaders are responding after seeing the video of a man dying in TPD custody. Now the police chief has submitted his resignation and the mayor is calling for reform. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Paris, working remotely. Valerie Cavazos is working in studio tonight. We're learning more about a case from this past April. Video showing Carlos Ingram Lopez's arrest and death has been made public by Tucson Police. Now, the three officers who had the man in custody are Ryan Starbuck, Jonathan Jackson, and Samuel Rutledge. A personnel report dated yesterday shows those three officers were marked for termination. They resigned last week. One sergeant and two officers were found not to have violated policy. According to a release from TPD, the cause of death was sudden cardiac arrest. Ingram Lopez was restrained in handcuffs at the time of his death. His grandmother had called 911 in response to him appearing to be experiencing drug-caused hallucinations at her home. The police officers who responded did not speak Spanish, which was the grandmother's main language, and they didn't take the initial statement from her, according to the police report. Now, Ingram Lopez was not placed in the medical recovery position until he'd been in custody for over 12 minutes. 9 on your side's Craig Smith has more on what was shown in the video and what the lawyer for those former officers has to say about it.
All right, just relax, all right? Relax.
Okay.
Relax.
Police say an autopsy report shows Carlos Adrian Ingram Lopez had a lot of cocaine in his system, and he had a heart condition. The night in late April, when three officers answered a call for help from Lopez's grandmother, they found themselves facing a naked, unruly man. One officer warns Lopez to settle down or take a hit from a taser.
You're gonna get zapped. You need to calm the hell down.
The officers hold the man on the ground, in handcuffs, and cover him with a blanket. Police say about 12 minutes into the encounter, they noticed Lopez is unresponsive. They try to revive him. Paramedics arrive and try too, but he is dead on the scene. Police Chief Chris Magnus says the officers did not use weapons or any dangerous neck holds, but did break procedures and would have been fired if they had not resigned first. He says details of what rules they broke must wait for the final report. The lawyer for the former officers says he does not see what they did wrong.
So they have to get this individual under control. And it's very difficult. No one heard the description of this. This gentleman is very large. He was naked, sweaty. He was incoherent. He was under the influence of drugs, obviously.
Chief Chris Magnus says disruption over COVID-19 is part of the reason police did not tell the public about the death for about 2 months. To take responsibility, he offered to resign. Accepting his resignation is a matter for the city manager. Neither he nor Mayor Romero said what they will do with his offer. Mayor Romero says this incident does not reflect most Tucson police, but there is still a need for change.
Events like these remind us that even the most progressive police departments with some of the most forward-thinking policies and rigorous training are not immune to failure.
And she's calling for reform to include stronger review of police actions and a community safety division to bring together mental health and social workers to help people in trouble. Craig Smith, KCON 9 on your side.
And those proposed reforms outlined by the mayor today. Let's take a look. First, the Tucson Police Department must immediately tell the mayor, city council, and the community of any in-custody deaths. Second, the creation of a new community safety pilot division. The division will bring together support services like mental health and social workers to serve the community. Third, strengthen the role and function of the independent police auditor. Now, this includes a formalized process to recommend changes to policies and procedures to the mayor and police chief. And finally, an overhaul of the Community Police Advisory Review Board. Romero says she and the council members are working with the city manager to provide resources that will support this framework.